Hello, 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 everybody.
Hey, welcome to our Peek into Pink with Amy and Cindy. We are so excited to have a conversation with y'all. So we hope that it's just you feel like you're talking to two girlfriends. We're gonna hopefully you'll feel like we're your two new favorite girlfriends at the end of this. So just grab Cindy and I have our matching cups because we're just cute and cheesy like that, and we're proud to be number one. So grab your water, grab your tea, whatever you are having this evening, and just join us. And I would just ask you guys as you're on tonight that you're present, because you never know when God's going to speak to you in a moment. And so when we're distracted and we're trying to multitask, we miss those special moments. And I don't want you to miss those. So I want you just to, if you got to lock yourself in the car, in the bathroom, in the closet, away from the kids, away from your husband, just say, give me a few minutes to be able to do this, because you never know. Like, we're always in these divine moments where God can change our life, and you never know. But I believe what we're going to share has the potential to change your life. So you don't want to miss it, right, Cindy? They don't want to miss anything. Okay, so we're just going to talk. And I just want to say, the person who invited you on here, this is not an invitation for everyone. We really think very highly of what we do and of our sisterhood, and we don't want to just invite anybody in. So I know you're invited here tonight because you possess the qualities of women that we're looking for. So the first thing I want you to do is just say hello to us in the chat. All right, so go ahead and say hello. Tell us where you're coming in from. I'm in Florida, Cindy's in Texas. So we have people chiming in from all over. And then the other thing I want you to put in the chat right now is, what do you want or need more of in your life in this season? Okay, so 10 years ago, 5 years ago, last year, you needed different things than what you need right now. So what are those things that you want or need more of in your life right now? And so I'm going to ask you to revisit that in a couple of minutes. So I just want that to be fresh on your heart as we begin our conversation. So I'm going to go ahead, and Cindy and I are just going to ask a couple questions about how we kind of got started in our business, what Mary Kay has done for us. And ultimately, we're looking to see if what you're looking for in life is something we have to offer, and what you have to offer is something we're looking for. And so if those things seem to be a match, at the end, we're going to give you an opportunity to work with us. So we can't wait to see who's going to accept that amazing invitation. All right, so Cindy, let me go ahead and get started. I'd love for you just to share a little bit about where were you in life when Mary Kay found you, and what made you want to give this business a try?
I was young and single and broke. I was a school teacher and really just living month to month on my paycheck. I love teaching, but I was not financially stable at all. And I knew that God had called me to do something more. I didn't know what it would be. I never imagined that it would be Mary Kay. I mean, I thought Mary Kay people had big blue hair and wore gobs of makeup and went door to door, a little pink box. And I didn't wear makeup, and I never really sold anything besides Girl Scout cookies. But I went to, I was invited to a launch party of one of my sorority sisters, and I went and I really fell in love with the product, and I fell in love with the opportunity even more. I kept asking so many questions to try to find something wrong, and I couldn't. And I found out that it really was in line with what I desired. Not only that it was a way to make extra money in a very, very flexible way, because I was super busy, and I didn't want to work a traditional part-time job taking up my weekends, because that was my social time. And so I love that, but it also was in line with my priorities of faith first, family second, career third. And that's the way that I wanted to live my life, but it wasn't the way I was living my life at the time. But I was so thankful that I found something that was aligned with those priorities. And so I held a party for my consultant because I wanted free product. I was like, I know people with skin, and I like free because there's a lot of things that I wanted that I was not able to get. And I got to experience the product, fell in love with it even more, and went ahead and got started. And I started because I really for the money. I wanted to get out of debt. I was in quite a bit of credit card debt, and I knew that someday I was going to have kids. And I thought, hey, I could build it now. And then when I have children, I can stay home with my kids. Never in a million years would I had ever imagined it would have turned out the way that it has turned out in this dream life that I get to live. So.
And how many years?
22 years.
Wow.
The longest I've done anything in my life, even with a guy.
The longest you've done anything. You said even being married, right?
Yeah. Yep. So what about you? Where was Mary Kay, or where were you when Mary Kay found you?
So I was fresh out of college working my first corporate job. And on the outside, to be honest, it probably looked like I was like living this amazing life. I was making great money. I was living down in Fort Lauderdale, just having like the fun beach life on the weekends and newly in love. But it was really kind of a confusing season, to be honest, Cindy, because I was really probably crying myself to sleep once or twice a week. And I couldn't figure out why. And I kept going, you're supposed to be happy. All these good things are happening in your life, but what is it? And really what was happening is I was missing, I was lacking fulfillment in my life. And I knew that when I graduated college, I remember having this conversation with my dad, and I said, I really want to make a lot of money. And because, you know, if you don't come from a lot of money, that's probably always something that you want. And both my parents were teachers. So it was like always, money was always an issue. But then I really just felt the calling of my life to like want to do something to make a big impact. And when I was looking at careers, it just didn't seem like you could have both of those things. It either seemed that you were choosing the path of, you know, impact and making a difference, but like there was no money in that, or I was going to be making money, but I was going to be compromising a lot of kind of some values, you know? So it really was this conflict. And so I'm embarrassed to say, but I was after the money. Okay. But that was my priority. And so I kind of really went that route in corporate. And so that's where I found myself. But of course, like God was stirring my heart. And so when my girlfriend had told me about Mary Kay, and she was a college friend, and I was really kind of confused. I'm like, gosh, she has a great job making good money in this marketing firm. Why would she be doing this? So she asked me to get on a call and listen with her director. And I'll tell you, the little antennas went off. And for the first time ever, I heard a lot of money and amazing impact. And I was like, oh my gosh, like maybe there is something. Like, how could I have not heard about this? I thought Mary Kay was just this cosmetic company. There's more women millionaires. There's all these women earning executive income, and they're making this difference. And I think that's probably the hardest thing for people to understand, is that this is so much more than cosmetics. And I don't think if you can see, but right above me in my office, I have like these 2 big boxes of letters of people that have just told me how I've impacted their life. And so it is really just so much deeper than that. And so I can just tell you, after 18 years, you know, just that really is what drives me every day and what gets me out of bed to want to be able to make that difference for other women, to show them how this can be that vehicle. They don't have to choose either or, they can choose both and. They really can have an amazing life with their family, and they can also, you know, be successful. They don't have to compromise.
Right. And I love that Mary Kay like really was intentional when she founded this company, you know, setting up the priorities, you know, really taking the Lord as her business partner, and that she set it up to where women could really truly get what they want out of life, but still keep the things that they valued most in life. And I think that was her intention all the time. You know, when she founded this company 60 years ago, she wanted women to truly have it all, you know, without having to compromise the things that were important to them. So I love that so much. So, you know, what makes you believe that Mary Kay, what made you believe that Mary Kay could be the vehicle to have it all? Like to truly have your dream life, to truly have that impact and have that and make an executive income. Like when did you really realize that you could really finance those dreams that you had in Mary Kay?
Yeah. I mean, I saw that the money potential right away, just working this on the side. I made $1,500 my first month. And obviously that was not going to be like that big money that I ultimately needed. My husband, who was actually my boyfriend at the time, he's very good with numbers, and he was really smart, Cindy. He actually sat down with me and showed me, he said, look at what you're making per hour at corporate. and look at what you're making per hour at Mary Kay. And y'all, that was huge.
Yes.
That was so eye-opening, where I was like, oh my gosh, I am working like a dog, like for really not that much when I looked at the time. And that was the thing. My whole life was time. And I missed that. I missed when I was in college and I had class, but then I could also go to the gym, and I also could go see friends, or I could also, volunteer in the community like I did. And I remember so frustrated that my whole life was work. I didn't have time to fit all these things in. It was like, go to work in the dark, come home in the dark, go to my apartment gym, come home and watch American Idol while I made dinner, made my lunch for tomorrow, go to bed and do it all over again. I'm like, there has to be more, right? And so no wonder people aren't even dreaming anymore, Cindy, because they're just surviving, right? So I think what shifted for me when I went to the first event in Mary Kay about a year after I'd been in, and I went to our annual seminar, and I cried, Cindy, for like 4 days.
Me too. I was a hot mess. It was like ugly cry.
I know. I mean, but in the best way, right? Because it was just like, wow, this could actually be the vehicle, right, to make my dreams come true. And so I think that's the thing that people have to recognize in Mary Kay, that it's not about building a Mary Kay business. It's about allowing Mary Kay to build your dreams, it to be the vehicle to do that. All the women, the millions of women in our huge international, global, in all these countries now that speak different languages, but we all are using this as a vehicle for those dreams. And so I think when I came back from that, I really had always wanted to be the mom that was going to the sports events, that could afford to that. Like, I always grew up going to my sporting events with other people's parents, because my parents couldn't afford to stay at the hotel or to send me on the place, and I remember crying myself so much, like, for this opportunity that I didn't get to go do because my parents couldn't afford it. Like, there was all those things from my childhood that were like motivating me to think about like providing that. And so I just want to say, for the people that maybe like you're in a season of life right now that you don't even maybe need Mary Kay right now, that was me. But I was thinking about my future. So when my girlfriend invited me on that call, Cindy, and she said, where do you see yourself in 5 years? So 5 years from then, I started thinking, you know what? I probably am going to be married and maybe be having kids, or starting to think about that. And so I started building my business for my future.
Yeah.
And let me tell you guys, that is so smart. Like, I don't even know. I don't even think I realized how smart that was when I did that. But I'll tell you, I have never been more thankful that was my mindset, because let me tell you what happened. When I started, I wasn't married and I didn't have kids, but 5 years after I made that decision, I had my first child. And as a mom, you never anticipate that you're going to have any issues. And I didn't think, I was healthy, young, whatever, but I did. I had a preemie, and she ended up being on life support for 3 weeks, in the hospital for 2 months. Wow. And even when she did come home, I had all these crazy doctors and specialists and medications and tubes and all these crazy things. But in those 2 months that she was in the hospital, I was there, which I should have been. But you know what? So many other families would have been in a financial crisis, but I wasn't, because of what I had done those 5 years to build something. I think I got like an $18,000 check and a $16,000 check those 2 months. I mean, but
while you're in the hospital
I was in the hospital with my baby. So it breaks my heart to see the crisis of people, they wait till the crisis happens until they're able to do that. And then I would just say now, I have 3 kids, like they all have all these sporting events all the time, and I get to be there. And I love the flexibility. And my ultimate dream, I have to say, because this is kind of happening right now, which is really, really fun, but I always envisioned, I wanted to be on the water, and I wanted this like amazing pool with this whole outdoor. And my dream was to have like all the parties at my house for the kids, the graduations, like all this stuff. And so a few years ago, my goal was actually at 37, I would get my house on the water, and that happened. So like I learned to Mary Kay how to dream big. And then this Monday, a very high-end, probably the most well-known pool designer, flew in to meet with my husband and I to talk about our pool. So, I'm just so grateful. And my oldest child was there when we had that meeting with him. And so I know she is seeing to dream big, and not only just like we're in the clouds dreaming, but we have built something that we're able to put us in a position like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what about you? I know you've had a lot of dreams come true through in your 22 years as
Yeah.
well?
Well, when I started, I was $8,000 in credit card debt. And my first dream that I wanted to finance, I didn't know that that's what it was, but I didn't call it that. I was like, I want to get out of debt, was paying off that debt. And all I could do was pay the minimum balance with my teaching salary. And so I knew I had to do something to get out of the place that I had gotten myself in. And I don't know about you guys, but we, sometimes in our lives, we get ourselves in places that we don't want ours to be in, right? And then we have to do something. If you don't do something to change, nothing's going to change, right? And I knew that. I knew that in my mind, and I knew that in my heart. I had to do something to change my situation. And so I started my Mary Kay business, took a total step of faith. I didn't know anything about makeup or money or makeup or skincare or teaching people how to do it or running a business. I didn't know any of that. But I did know one thing. I knew that I was teachable and trainable and that I could learn. And I knew that if I didn't do something to change, nothing would change. And so I took that step of faith, and I gave myself a year to pay off $8,000 in credit card debt, because all I could do was just hold basically about 2 appointments a week with my busy, crazy schedule that I had at the time. And I was able to pay off that debt in my first 4 months in business, with just simply sharing this product.
So $8,000 in 4 months.
In 4 months.
Wow. Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but y'all got to put that in the chat. Like, how many of you right now are in that situation and you're like, I have a credit card that's been looming over me. And are you kidding me? In like 120 days, I could have that paid off. That's crazy. Okay.
So that was that's what gave me the vision of like, wow, like this is legit. Like this isn't just like a little bit of extra shoe money. Like I could really make a significant amount, and to a teacher that was living month to month and eating ramen noodles at the end of the month, like that was a lot, that was a lot of money working it, 6 to 10 hours a week. Right. And I mean, so I love that you said, that your husband pointed that out, with the time that you put into your Mary Kay business compared to the time that you put into your corporate job, you're making a whole lot more money, in Mary Kay, even though it's not showing up on paper as more because it's not equal amount of time. Right. And so I was making so much more money just holding appointments, and a few hours a week than I was, working, a lot of hours, as a teacher. And so, so that gave me that vision. And then like seminar, that's where everything changed. And God really revealed to me that he had called me to be a leader in this business. And I had one team member on my team. It was 22 years ago. And so he gave me a dream in my heart that at that moment to be a leader in this business, but also to be on that seminar stage and sharing my story. And that has been a dream I've had for a long time, and prayerfully that will come into fruition very soon. So that's really cool because, and I think you had mentioned this, like really people have forgotten how to dream in this world. I really do believe that we're dream handicapped. I know I was, before Mary Kay. When I was a little girl, I was like a big dreamer, and then life happened and the world stifled that dream. And I forgot how to dream. Like my biggest dream was to be able to pay all my bills and not have to eat ramen noodles, and so I love that Mary Kay has given me that vehicle to dream again and to make that dream a reality. So that was my first dream I financed. I financed many more through the years, but my biggest dream, Amy, that I have financed was to retire my husband from his job in corporate America.
It's amazing.
And that was huge. It was a huge leap of faith again. But God has been so good and so sweet and honoring that obedience and taking that step of faith. And so it's been really an incredible thing for my family to see that, and to experience that. It's been huge for my kids to see that for years we prayed to bring daddy home, and we did it. And what a lesson, a life lesson in that, like that no schooling could ever teach your children to dream. No schooling could ever teach your children really strong work ethic and doing something to make those dreams a reality. Like And it's what's caught, I believe, more than what is taught.
Mhm.
And so my kids are big dreamers because they've seen me and
Absolutely.
my husband take
Yeah.
steps in faith and dream big. And so that I think is such a precious gift to give your family, that is almost so much better than even an education, that
Yeah.
will last a lifetime,
I
right?
agree. It's those it's life lessons, right? That's going to
Yes,
equip them to be successful human beings. Yeah. I recently did a webinar that was called Stop Surviving and Start
right.
Thriving. And,
Yes,
I think that I just see so many women that are just trying to get through the day, survive
yes,
the week, just getting by. And I think, man, God just has so much more. Like there's an abundant life that God has for us. And, we don't serve the world when we're thinking small and when we're acting small and we're dreaming small. God has so much more. So I just would encourage all the ladies listening to really do an inventory of your dream right now. Like if you look at what you really want, what your goals and your dreams are, just like right now in this season of life, like, are they ambitious goals? Because if you don't have like a goal that you're excited about in your life right now that you're actively pursuing, you are probably in survival mode versus
yep.
in thrive mode. So just there. Well, let me wrap up with one more question, Cindy, to ask you. So here we are, 60 years into Mary Kay. What would you say to women that are considering starting this business? Like, what do you love and appreciate most about this opportunity, maybe more than others? We're not, blind or ignorant to think there's not other opportunities out there. But so why would you say yes to Mary Kay specifically to be a part of our company right now in this time in history too?
Well, I do believe from the bottom of my heart, this is the greatest opportunity in the world for women, where you can get what you want and still keep the things you value most in your life. I feel like it's set apart. I feel like our marketing plan is set apart. It's so different than there's no other marketing plan like ours, where we really control the experience that our customers have, and that we have that control over that experience. I think that's awesome. We don't have to wait for Mary Kay to pay us for our sales, that it's instant. I was just telling one of my new consultants a story about one of my consultants that was commuting from Allen, Texas to Commerce, Texas to go to school, and she needed gas, and she left she left her wallet on the counter, and she was like, what am I going to do? And so she realized she had product in the back seat, and so she started calling customers, and one of her customers came and bought a mineral powder foundation and gave her $20 so she could get gas, you know.
That's
So
awesome.
I love our marketing plan. I love that every day can be a payday in Mary Kay, and that definitely was very important to me, only getting paid once a month. But I love that the way that Mary Kay set up this company, and her taking the Lord as her business partner, I really feel like it set up just such a unique culture of women truly empowering other women, praising each other to success, loving each other, supporting each other. I just had one of my consultants, she lost her Facebook. She was hacked, and she had a Facebook party. And one of my other consultants just stepped right in and was like, I'll do it for you while you work out all of this. I mean, it's just, that's how we work.
Yeah.
In this business, we truly do love and support each other. And you cannot go to the top in this business without helping other people to find success and to finance their dreams and all those things. And so I just feel completely like it's set apart. And right now, people need extra streams of income. They need extra streams of income. Forbes magazine says that you need to increase your income by $5,200 a year to just survive. That's not even thriving like you were talking about. That's just surviving. And most people aren't getting a $5,200 raise. I don't know about you, but most people aren't. And
Yeah.
so that is $100 in sales. That's like one order, like, and
Mhm.
so, or $200 in sales, I guess, 100 profit. And so, I mean, you can have not just one extra stream of income, but there's multiple streams of income within Mary Kay. And I think right now more than ever, people need to have multiple streams of income. It's said that an average family doesn't have an extra $400 if, something happened to their car or emergency came up. And so with a side business, you can truly, have that extra income for emergencies that come up, and just the culture and growing from the inside out. It's just, yeah, I could go on and on, but we only have a few minutes. So what are your thoughts? I know that can we move on? Because I have a important question to ask you. So that I was thinking about. So we're talking about just, aside, doing it as a side and making extra streams of income. But we are also looking for women that are high achievers and want to move up and have a leadership position, in this business as well. Not just, a little bit extra shoe money, but we're looking for those like you, Amy, you've been a high achiever your whole life. I've been a high achiever. We're looking for those women that want more. That want more, not just extra money. That's great. We'll take you. If you want some extra money, we will show you how to make some extra money, sister. But we're also, both of us, are looking to develop women into the leaders that God has made them to be. If God has given you the gift of leadership and you are not involved in a career that is really focusing on your talents and your gifting that God has given you, this might be something that you might want to decide to do. And so, Amy, why are high achievers? We have lots of high achievers right now that are starting a Mary Kay business. Why do you think that high achievers are looking for something more than what they have right now, especially those people in corporate America already making six figures, already making a great income, but might be looking for something more like you were?
Yeah. First of all, I love the fact in Mary Kay that there's a place to play small, medium, and large. So it doesn't have to be one or the other. You really can have this fit for how you need it to be in your life. And there are times that I started where it could only be small, but I had the hope that it could turn into something big like it did. And exactly that, because I knew that in corporate America, I was not ever going to reach my full leadership potential and be able to have the value. So I think, a big thing is that women who are wanting to lead but also have that family, that I knew I wasn't going to change corporate America, right? So I think the reason people would work to build this, to go full time and to lead in there, is because they want to have both of those sides of their life in there. The other thing, I have done a study that's had nothing to do with Mary Kay, Cindy, that had to do with what our high achieving women want. And it was so interesting because when I looked at what those things were, it were all things that Mary Kay offered. So, and believe it or not, money was actually number 5. So I think a lot of times we're like, oh my gosh, these high achieving women, that's going to be the most important thing. And like you said, hey, we need that extra income, that $5,200 that people are needing right now for their current living situation. But I think it's interesting that there's 4 other factors that are more important in a career for high achieving women, that they may not be getting that filled in whatever their current job is. So actually, number 1 is fulfillment. Remember the thing I said I was lacking in my job and why I was crying myself to sleep. Yeah. And so, I think high achieving women really desire work that's going to align with your values and their passions and their purpose, and to want to make that significant difference, And I know, again, it's hard to see that on the outside, but again, I think that's why women like myself and like you, Cindy, we stay for the long haul. That's why we've been here, for the longevity that we've had. I think also the personal growth, a lot of jobs. I was talking to a really, really, good friend, and she's actually a doctor. And so she does incredible things. She's saving lives. She just helped with some of the crazy stories. But again, they're learning that skill. And I think women that are high achievers, they crave personal development. That's something they value. That's something they want to work on. They want kind of this work-life balance more. And so Mary Kay is teaching, it's continuous learning, improvement,
Yeah.
course that you're
What you
doing.
get
So
paid
it's
for.
very attractive. Very, yeah. The other thing is the flexibility you and I both have talked about, right? Like in corporate, yes, I could have made that great income, but I was going to sacrifice the flexibility. I was going to have to sacrifice, the things with my kids, and I just wasn't willing to do that. And then lastly, the other thing is just that recognition and rewards. I worked so hard in corporate America, and the only thing I ever got recognized for was my weaknesses and what I did wrong.
Yep.
And that was so frustrating. So in Mary Kay, I think that immediately, whether you're small, medium, or large, you're being recognized, you're being rewarded, your people are acknowledging your contributions for what you're doing, and the opportunity that's there for you. So I think those are, some of the reasons why. So I would just say, you guys, I want you to go back and look at what you put at the beginning of the chat. What do you want or need more of in your life right now? And maybe it was the money, maybe it was the flexibility, maybe it was, the belonging to, you're looking for friends. And as Cindy and I said, this is the most incredible sisterhood. We really would do anything for each other. And that is just priceless, because I feel like I have a lot of friends, but there's something special about our sisterhood that we have, and really that it is a family. It's so much more than just a friendship. That's why it is really a sisterhood. And so I would just say, y'all, lastly, we're looking for women who've been asking God to open a door for them and asking for a better way of life, a different way of living, someone who would want to be the boss, someone who would want to be able to have something where they could put God first, family second, and career third, and that they could work from home with that flexibility, but still have the executive income while knowing they were making a positive impact. So if any of that resonates with you, you have to give it to a try. I would say you do have to. Like, you owe it to yourself.
You owe it to yourself. What do you have to lose?
So, Cindy, tell them how they could get started if they're ready to work with us.
So, whenever I was considering Mary Kay, I was thinking about those things. Like, I was thinking about, I really don't know what I'm doing, but I'm never going to know unless I try. And, it's $100. It was $100 when I started. It's less than that now. Go imagine that, but it was $100, and I didn't have $100, but I was sick and tired of not having $100. So if I didn't do something to change, nothing could change. Right. And so, so right now you can actually make a decision to just try this out and see. And I like to think, what do you have to lose? Like, the worst thing that could happen was you get this product that is like the number one selling product in the world in skincare and color cosmetics in the direct sell industry for 50% off. Like, that's the worst thing that can happen, but the best thing that could happen is a life beyond your wildest imagination. Like Amy and I get to live now. I mean, I could never have ever imagined the life that I get to live right now 22 years ago, when I took a step of faith and started something I had no idea what I was doing. But the mentorship, oh my goodness, the mentorship is amazing. So that you can start your own business right now for $35. $35. I mean, I took my kids to Chick-fil-A the other day, and it was more than $35. I mean, seriously. It is not going to change your pocketbook very much, but it could absolutely change your life. And so we are looking for decision makers, right? You may not know everything. You may not know what you want from this business or anything like that. All we are looking for is people that are open to learn, that are teachable and trainable, and we will give you the tools that you need to be successful. One of the best things about this business is that you're in business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself. Like Amy and I are your gifts with purchase, and we are priceless. And so you get your very own built-in mentor, right? And so we are looking for decision makers. So you have a decision to make: A, B, or C, right? A, B, or C. So A is absolutely, like, what's the worst thing that can happen? If you're going to teach me, let's go ahead and get this party started. Okay. So that's A. Remember, you can start for as little as $35. There's some other options that your director or consultant can share with you that you can upgrade to. You have a little bit of time to do that, but A is absolutely, let's just try it out. B is, you know what? I do have some questions. So just why don't you just book me for like a quick MK Q&A, right? I have some questions. Just book me for an MK Q&A, and we can talk some more. And then C is, I love all that you said, but I just love being a customer. I don't mind paying full price. I love supporting you as a customer. And you know what? We need our customers. We would not be in business if we did not have people that were washing their face with Mary Kay. And so we need that. So thank you for your love and support as a customer. But we would love, you're on this for a reason today. You're watching this. And so we would love to have you partner up with us in a Mary Kay business. And, you know, this is what I think about. I think about that, you know, this business is this beautiful, beautiful box, right? Isn't this a cute box, right? All my new consultants get this box. This one is for Tisha. Okay. And so it's a beautiful box, and you never know what's going to be inside that box, right? Like, you never know the blessings that are going to come from this. It may be just a little bit of extra shoe money, or it may be something that could absolutely totally change your life forever. And so what our job to do is to share the gift of Mary Kay. It's just up to you to open it up and to find out what's inside for you. And as a new consultant, you get a gift from your Mary Kay sales director. I don't know what's in that gift, but you're going to get a gift from your Mary Kay sales director. Maybe product, it may be fun stuff. I don't know, but you'll get a gift for making a decision tonight to start your own Mary Kay business. So thank you so much for being a part. Amy, is there anything you want to close us out with?
That's great. Just give it a try, girls. You know, you'll never know unless you try. Let's do it.
We would love for you to just drop in the comments an A, B, or C, just to let us know where you are. And your consultant or one of us will be following back up with you. Thank you guys so much.
Good
Bye,
night.
everybody.
Bye.